There's a plastic tub sitting on a shelf in my garage right now. I paid about $11 for it 4 summers ago at a farm supply store. It's still more than half full, and it's greened up my entire lawn every single fall since. Meanwhile, the guy 2 houses down pays a truck to come spray his yard for color 3 times a season. Here's what took me 2 full seasons to actually understand. What's in that tub isn't fertilizer. It has no nitrogen in it. It will not make your grass grow a single blade faster. And that's not a weakness, that's the entire reason it works. And it's exactly why golf course crews have quietly relied on it for decades, while the rest of us pay $40 a bag for something doing a smaller version of the same job with a nicer label. I want to walk through what it actually is, exactly how much to use, when to spray it, and the mistakes that turn this from the cheapest color you'll ever put on a lawn into a stained driveway and a patch of grass that looks scorched. I got the full breakdown of this from a guy named Ellis Grantham, who managed turf on a municipal golf course outside Peoria, Illinois for over 2 decades before he retired. He told me something that reframed the whole problem for me. A course has to look immaculate every weekend, he said, but growth is a cost, not a benefit. We needed color without asking the grass to grow, and that's a completely different chemical problem than most homeowners realize. Here's why growth is actually the enemy in this specific situation. Nitrogen is the obvious tool for green. It's the first number on every fertilizer bag, and it absolutely does deepen color. But nitrogen greens grass by making it grow. The color is a side effect of new tissue, not the actual product you're buying. For a golf course, more growth means more mowing, which is a real payroll cost. It means softer, lusher, water-filled leaf tissue, which is exactly the environment fungal disease looks for in warm, humid weather. And late in the season, pushing an already stressed plant to grow harder is one of the more reliable ways to lose whole sections of turf. So the answer had to be color without growth, and that's iron. This ties directly back to the dormant lawn video, where we covered why iron makes sense for a stressed plant specifically. It restores color without demanding a growth spurt the plant can't afford. Today we're going deeper into the actual product and the exact mixing rate. Specifically, we're talking about iron sulfate, also sold as ferrous sulfate, a mineral that comes as a fine crystal or powder, usually pale green or grayish green, that dissolves in water. Here's the piece that explains why it works so fast. Grass color comes from chlorophyll, and the plant cannot manufacture chlorophyll without iron. Iron isn't part of the chlorophyll molecule itself, it's more like the key that unlocks the assembly line building it. Take iron away, and the factory stalls. The blade can't produce pigment, and you get pale, washed-out grass no matter how much you feed it. Here's what catches most homeowners off guard. Your soil probably already has plenty of iron in it. Most soil does. The actual problem is availability. Iowa State University Extension Soil Science notes that as soil pH climbs into alkaline territory, iron locks into chemical forms the roots simply can't absorb. It's sitting right there in the dirt, completely out of reach for the plant. If you're on hard water, in a limestone-heavy region, or your soil test has ever come back on the high side of neutral, this is very likely your situation. And it's why you can pour nitrogen on a lawn all season and it still looks faded, because you're feeding a plant that can't build the pigment to use what it's being fed. Spraying dissolved iron directly onto the leaf blade skips the entire soil problem. The grass absorbs it straight through the leaf. No waiting on roots, no fighting pH, no weeks-long soil amendment process. You'll see color starting inside 24 hours, deepening over the next 2 to 3 days, and peaking somewhere around day 3 to 5. Depending on conditions and mowing frequency, that color typically holds for roughly 3 to 4 weeks. Compare that to a granular feeding that can take a week and a half just to show anything. This is genuinely the fastest visible change you'll get from anything you put on a lawn. Worth knowing, a lot of deep green or color boost garden center products list iron right there in the guaranteed analysis on the back panel, usually as a modest percentage inside a bag of mostly filler. Same basic mineral, considerably higher price. That's not to say fertilizer is a scam. Your lawn genuinely needs feeding, full stop. It's that color and nutrition are 2 separate jobs, often sold to you bundled as one, at a premium price for the cheaper half of that bundle. Now let's get into the practical part, because this is where people, myself included early on, get it wrong. Look for iron sulfate or ferrous sulfate at a farm supply or agricultural store, in granular or crystal form rather than a liquid concentrate, since liquid mostly means you're paying to ship water. A 4 to 5 pound container typically runs somewhere around $8 to $15, and unless your property is unusually large, that's multiple seasons of applications. You may also see chelated iron on the same shelf. It's the same core mineral with a protective molecule wrapped around it that resists locking up in alkaline soil, and it stains hard surfaces less aggressively, genuinely the better pick if you're correcting soil long-term rather than spraying leaves. It also costs several times more for the same actual iron content. For a foliar spray, which is what we're covering here, plain iron sulfate does the job at a fraction of the price. Here's the number that matters most in this entire video, so it's worth writing down. 1 cup of iron sulfate treats approximately 4,000 square feet of lawn. That's the whole rate. 8,000 square feet, use 2 cups. A smaller strip around 2,000 square feet, use half a cup. I need to be very clear about a mistake worth avoiding entirely. 1 cup dissolved into just a single gallon of water and sprayed over a small area is a wildly excessive concentration. That doesn't produce a green lawn. It produces grass that goes dark gray, sometimes black in patches, and a driveway you'll be looking at with regret for a long time. The cup is the dose for the entire lawn, spread across several gallons, not the dose per gallon. Aim for roughly 1 to 2 gallons of spray solution for every 1,000 square feet you're covering. For that 4,000 square foot example, 1 cup goes into somewhere between 4 and 8 gallons total, which works out to roughly 2 tablespoons of product per gallon of water in the tank. A mild, effective concentration. The same range professionals actually work in. If this is your first time applying it, start at half strength. Half a cup over that same 4,000 square feet. Every lawn responds a little differently depending on grass type and stress level, and you can always go stronger next time. You can't undo an over-application. Mixing it correctly matters too. Fill your sprayer about halfway with water first. Never dump the powder into an empty tank and add water after, since it cakes at the bottom and you'll be shaking it for 20 minutes trying to break it up. Add the measured iron, agitate until fully dissolved, and the water's gone a uniform amber color with nothing gritty settling out. Then top off with the rest of your water. A pump-up garden sprayer with a shoulder strap is genuinely all you need for most yards. A backpack sprayer is worth it if you're covering serious square footage. Timing the application matters as much as the mix. Spray in the evening or early morning, not midday in direct sun. Ideally under about 85 degrees, and not while the lawn's in active drought stress. A blade that's baking and curled in afternoon heat isn't absorbing much of anything, and you're just increasing the odds of burning tissue for no benefit. Once sprayed, let it sit and dry on the leaf for a good 2 to 4 hours rather than watering it in, since this is a foliar treatment and the grass needs contact time to absorb it. Check your forecast too. A thunderstorm rolling through an hour after application just washes the whole thing away. And here's the one that'll save your weekend. Iron sulfate stains concrete, pavers, stone, brick, and stucco, and it'll leave rust-colored marks on light-colored siding. Those stains are stubborn. Hose down any hard surface bordering your spray area before you start, since wet concrete absorbs far less. Turn your sprayer nozzle off before swinging over a walkway, not while you're crossing it, and hose down every nearby hard surface again the moment you finish. Gloves, closed shoes, and clothes you don't mind staining are worth the 30 seconds of setup. Now the honest limitations. Because a product that only tells you what it does and never what it doesn't leaves you disappointed and blaming the wrong thing. Iron will not thicken a thin lawn. If you can see soil between grass plants, iron just makes the plants you already have greener. It does nothing about the bare ground itself, which is a seed and soil contact problem no mineral spray fixes. Iron doesn't replace fertilizer either. Your grass still needs nitrogen and a real fertility program. What iron does is separate color from growth, so you're not tempted to over-apply nitrogen in the wrong season just to chase a shade of green. It also won't touch dandelion or clover. If anything, they'll look more obvious against a suddenly darker lawn, though it will genuinely knock back moss in shaded areas, which is a real secondary benefit worth knowing about. And if your lawn is pale because your soil pH is genuinely out of range, iron spray is a good cheap bandage on a 3 to 4 week cycle, not a permanent fix. A soil test and actual pH correction is the underlying solution. Timing across the season matters most in one specific window. Mid to late summer is genuinely the best time for this. That's when cool season lawns look their most exhausted from heat and drought stress, and every instinct says to throw down nitrogen and force a green up. Ellis was blunt about why that instinct is wrong. Pushing heavy nitrogen into a heat-stressed lawn while soil temperatures are still elevated is a reliable way to invite disease and force a weak plant to spend energy it doesn't have in reserve. Iron gets you the color back right now without asking a tired plant to grow, holding that appearance through the rest of the season. And then once soil temperatures actually drop, that's when a real fall fertilization program takes over and does the plant's actual recovery work. Two separate jobs, two separate tools, in the right order. If this saves you a truck visit this season, hit subscribe. We're covering the cheap, overlooked fixes that actually work, one at a time. Go watch the dormant lawn recovery video next if you haven't already. It's where this iron trick fits into a bigger recovery plan alongside deep watering. And if your lawn is thin along with pale, our overseeding video covers the actual fix for bare ground, since iron alone won't touch that part of the problem. Tell me in the comments, have you used iron sulfate before? And what rate did it take for your grass type? I read every comment. See you in the next one.